How you doing there, Disney fans? Ben here, and you watch a video by Neverland Ben. Yeah, this is basically like the anniversary of the last time I went to Disneyland Paris. This time last year, I was at Disneyland Paris, and I was there for like 4 days to be exact. I'll drop like the videos like down below from when we like travelled like from the UK first of all, then when it came to like part 1, part 2 and part 3, and this one is talking about what's been happening like after the Disney scene and whatnot when I was at Disneyland Paris. So yeah, I'll explain like quickly about part 1, part 2, part 3, like short and sweet. Like part 1 was when we were exploring around, because Disneyland Paris was like totally new to like me and to my parents as well, especially because due to the fact that my sister and her boyfriend, they've been there like multiple times, so they were pretty much like our guided tour. So unfortunately with part 1 it didn't go too well for me, because I wanted to do like the whole meet and greeting and what have you, but in their defence, like my parents' defence, they did want to see about what the area looked like and whatnot. Part 2, unfortunately, like the majority of footage got corrupted due to the fact that the Windows Movie Maker didn't work like too well, unfortunately. But basically, it was just like with part 1. But what was added like with part 2 was the firework display. I'd say that was my favourite part of part 2. And part 3 was where I did a collab with Lou from France, and I did the meet and greet with Maleficent, and then I did the proposal challenge like to one of the stepsisters from Cinderella, and I chose Anastasia, like Tremaine. And unfortunately, the people I wanted to meet, they didn't go to plan as well, unfortunately, like bad timing and whatnot, because I wanted to meet like Princess Aurora, but I did see like Snow White and Cinderella, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance to meet and greet. The only time I saw them was while I was waiting like for my turn, like to do the proposal and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But at least I managed to do what I wanted to do, like, which was mostly doing the proposal challenge, because it's really gone like viral, like in every like individual like Disney resort and whatnot. And that's just something I'm glad that I've achieved, like basically. And now I'm going to be like explaining about what's been happening like ever since. There was like a few things I've learned as well, like from like the part 3 like video, mostly. While I was having like the photos taken and what have you, so I was asking one of like the French girls like to do it for me. The reason I could tell, because she obviously like spoke French to me at first. Actually, I'll walk you through it. Like first of all, me and Lou wasn't sure like where to stand, so that way where I could have my turn and whatnot. And the young French girl, bless her, was like speaking French as you do, which is fair enough. I just spoke like English, and she asked like English. I said yep, and I asked her, could you like escort me like to where to like wait, and she like was being generous and was just basically like walking me to like the position, and she even like asked me about like the parade and what have you, like asking me, are you going to see him at the parade or now? And I was like, now. And I was asking about what time of the parade and whatnot, and she basically walked me through that. So then when it came to the point where they said, here's the handsome prince, which I am apparently, I don't like to think about that. So as I was their prince like for the day, I was given the choice like which one I like out. So it was really debatable, to be fair with you, man. But Anastasia, though, she was really gorgeous as well. I'm trying to like keep this clean up for this channel, but she really was like immaculate, like bless her. They were really spot on. They were like really like sweet and lovely and whatnot. So after when I did the most nerve-wracking thing of all, like proposing like to Anastasia and what have you. When Anastasia said that we've got to have a picture together and whatnot, I saw like the French girl. I asked her could she do it like for me, like taking the photo, and of course I was asked like, can she like keep the ring and what have you? And I was like, oh, I didn't know you can give like Disney characters like gifts and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, like so that way it makes it like if it's like legit and what have you. It was basically like one of my old like rings I used to wear like before I was a rockabilly. Hence why she said I got to show off the bling and all that. And Drizella, she was really spot on with her character with the sparkly. I want something sparkly. They really got it like accurate. It was really, really like spot on. So with like the girl who took the photo, like for me with my phone, out of the blue, it turned out it was one of the people who I followed on Instagram. Her name's Jessica.neverland. I'll drop her name down below, so that way you can follow her. And she's got a lot of like tremendous like photography skills there. So be sure to follow her and click like on her photos. And ever since then, obviously we like kept in touch, you know, as you do, and we like become like best of pals and all of that. And also, what gets even better, right? I was like making like more like friends with people like from the Disney like scene, like from like Disneyland Paris, like, obviously, and like Disney fans and whatnot. I was like saying thank you for following me as you do, and then when we were like talking about like our favourite moments of like Disney, and this was like to like a girl who calls herself Sabrina Disneyland Paris. I'll put her like down below so then you can like follow her as well. She's really like awesome. She's done some like epic photography as well. She was a cast member for Disneyland Paris at a bar called the Billy Bob. I've never been there before, but it looks really, really good. And when I was like telling her about the proposal challenge I'd done, she said that the stepsisters are really like awesome, and that's true. And guys, if you want to like see like the stepsisters from Cinderella, please do see them. They really are like lovely. They're really like friendly and all of that. You'll just love them to pieces. Like they're really like accurate with the character and stuff. So then when I sent like the video like to like Sabrina Disneyland Paris, the one which was, I think it was I proposed to Anastasia Tremaine at Disneyland Paris, not Clickbait, I think it was called. I think it was called that. Don't quote me on the name, but like scroll down and find that video. It's roughly like a 2 or 3 minute video, somewhere like that, and you'll like find like the actual name to it. So then when I sent her the video of it, she said to me like out of the blue that she was there. Like she basically like witnessed it. So regardless that we were complete strangers at the time, she basically like witnessed it all. Like witnessed me like doing the waltzing and whatnot. I mean, that is just unexpected but amazing at the same time. But her eyes was mostly fixed at Augustin, who thinks of himself as a ladies' man, basically, who has his eye on Belle. But let's be honest though, man, he's got no chance with Belle. Sorry, Augustin. Sorry, buddy. There's other like fish in the sea. So since then, I said to like Sabrina about saying that I miss Disneyland Paris. I wish I lived there and whatnot. And I did say to her as a joke that that maybe one day we might bump into one another. And then she thought of the idea that that we should meet up if I ever do come down, because where she lives in Holland is like a driving like journey like for her, or train or anything like that. I don't know how the transport like works like in Europe, because I don't know whether it involves like coaches and whatnot, so I can't speak out for that. And my original idea was to like do like the Disney Princess Marathon Challenge, but of course I had to remember that the result and whatnot, they're slightly like bigger than Disneyland Paris, and I really suppose they are, I guess. And when I said about like her like doing it like with me and whatnot, she said that wouldn't be fair, and she was more thinking about like meet and greeting like many other like Disney characters as much as we can. So we was like, yeah, we can do that as well. So because of like Disneyland Paris is fairly small, I guess, I don't know. To me, it was like big, like to be fair with you, man. So basically, with that, we made an agreement like to do all of it all together, and Sabrina did point out that you can meet like two princesses like in like a day at the Princess Pavilion, which I suppose you do. So it's really going to be like interesting as well. So basically, the people who will be like collabing with me will be Edward, Faye, Sabrina, and hopefully like Jessica, if she's able to hang out for a while and all that. Like so that way we can like grind together, man. It'll be really like interesting like doing this, and I can't confirm when I'm going and what have you because I'm going to Scotland next month, and with like Disneyland Paris and whatnot, it's really expensive like behind the scenes. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm going to finish it off from there, guys. And as always, when Jiminy Cricket always says, when you wish upon a star, your dreams will come true. So be nice, everyone, and I'll see you very soon. Bye now.